GeoDaddy's back. What's going on, guys? Mira here, back again with another Genshin Impact video, and update 1.3 just went live on Genshin Impact today. And of course, with update 1.3 comes the new banner and the new 5-star Xiao, which we did get on my stream earlier today. So if you've missed that, you can always check out here for the highlight in which we pulled Xiao. It's a really short video, so go and check that out. But yeah, we got really lucky. However, I'm not ready to show him off just yet today because although he is at level 80, his weapon is not done yet. So we will have to wait for tomorrow to get the Ascension materials for his weapon, and his artifacts is pretty much done. So tomorrow I will have a video out for you guys showcasing Xiao, but for today we are going to be talking about the other 5-star character that is the highlight of 1.3 as well. So that is none other than our GeoDaddy Zhongli. And Zhongli has been buffed in 1.3, and a lot of the changes they have announced back in 1.2. So we do know that, you know, he would have gotten a huge buff in 1.3, and now in 1.3 we actually get to test him out. And I've made some changes to his artifacts with regards to the changes to him, and it has been working out really well. So GeoDaddy is back, and I just wanted to show you guys what I've built on him and also the damage difference. Now, before we get into everything though, I have made a video back in 1.2, which you can check out here, explaining all the buffs that he will be getting. And also, in that video, there is some footage that we will be using in this video to kind of compare the damage between 1.2 and 1.3. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first big thing for Zhongli will be his HP scaling on his damage. He is getting a 1.39% HP scaling on his normal attacks and also a 1.9% HP scaling on his pillar. So that actually means so much damage. Now, you can see on my screen right now, my Zhongli has 25,000 HP, and that is not a lot, guys. His base HP is really high, and later when we get to his artifacts, you will see why my HP is so low. It's definitely not meant to be so low, and I want to replace some of the artifacts. But right now, for demonstration purposes, this will have to do. But if you look at this screenshot over here, you can see that my normal attack used to deal about 400 to 600 damage, and that is no longer the case. So I'm gonna show you guys just how much damage I will be able to deal, and this is on the same enemies. So as you can see here, we are dealing, you know, quite a healthy chunk of damage with you know, we're seeing 2Ks, which is really insane compared to in 1.2, you know, and we were only getting like a couple of hundred damage, maybe 1,000 damage. And do keep in mind that nothing has changed. So his weapon remains the same. It is the same level. He is the same level, and he has not ascended. And I am using the exact same team that I did in the previous video. Now, moving on to his pillar damage, I just want to showcase to you guys. If you look over here, this is the screenshot from the video which I've made in 1.2, and the pillar was critting for about 1,000 damage, right? But over here you can see that we are going to be doing it again, and the Jade Shield will give you a little bit more damage. So it will, as you can see here, deal 3.3k damage as a crit, which is 3 times the amount of the previous number back in 1.2. So the Zhongli buff has definitely increased his damage by a whole lot, and compounded by the fact with Albedo you will get more resonance, which means more damage. Is going to be really insane. Now, nothing much has really changed since 1.2 in regards to my own Zhongli. He has remained at a relatively similar HP, and the only thing that I've changed about him was the artifacts, like I've mentioned. So his weapon remains the same level. I have not leveled him up as well. I have not ascended him. Nothing has changed, and this is purely from the change in artifacts and also the buffs. So right now we are going to be talking about his artifacts. So let's get right into it. Now, moving on to his artifacts, my Zhongli was using the 2-piece Petra and 2-piece Noblesse back in 1.2, and that was because the only skill that dealt a healthy amount of damage was on his planet before, which is his Elemental Burst. And therefore, the Noblesse made a lot of sense on him, but right now, because of the HP scaling across the board, the artifacts have changed a little. Now, I have kept the Petra for the extra damage on the Resonance and also on the Q, but I have replaced the Noblesse with Bloodstain. Now, Bloodstain gives you a 25% physical damage bonus, which is really, really nice for his normal attack scaling, and that is the reason why you see that his normal attacks has scaled so well, dealing over 1000 and sometimes even 2000 damage. Now, getting into his artifact substats and main stats, for the timepiece, this is a piece that I have been looking to change for a while, and I want to say that if you have the HP percent main stat on your timepiece, you can use it with Zhongli because of the HP scaling. Now, in the past, only the planet Befall scaled with HP, and that's why I used an attack percent, kind of artifact to kind of boost his physical damage and his E just a little bit. But right now, because of the HP scaling across all of his attacks, HP will definitely make more sense. So I am still trying to farm for a HP percent artifact on his timepiece, but yeah, it has not been turning out well, but as soon as I get the HP percent main stat, I will be replacing this with it. Now, moving on to his cup, nothing changes. I still stuck with the geo damage. You can use the physical damage if you so prefer. In fact, there will be a build, or rather, there is a build that centers around dealing physical damage using the Dragon Spine Spear. Now, I have not really tested this out, but it does seem pretty interesting. So if any one of you guys do decide to try this out, do let me know in the comments how that works out for you. Now for his circlet, nothing really much changed. I basically went from the crit damage Noblesse into the crit damage Bloodstain. So nothing really changes too much. I did get some pretty bad rolls on this artifact, but we will pretty much replace it as we get more better artifacts. Now moving on to his weapon, I am still using the level 70 deathmatch that I have been using in 1.2, and nothing really much changed. So the reason why I am kind of holding back on upgrading this weapon is because the Staff of Homa is coming, and I don't know, man, I might kind of want to pull for it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the deathmatch gives you crit rate, and it's really, really nice because having that crit rate basically means that you don't have to worry about your crit rate on your artifacts, and you can kind of just stack crit damage on them, and you will be able to do quite a bit of damage, and it has worked out for me pretty nicely. Now, of course, for the physical players out there, the Dragon Spine option, like I've mentioned, the Dragon Spine Spear is also a really viable option, but with the Dragon Spine Spear, you are getting physical damage bonus, which means you have to be a little bit more careful when juggling your crit rate and crit damage on your artifacts. So yeah, that's gonna be all the changes that I've made to my Zhongli in 1.3 surrounding his artifacts and also his buffs. Now, I may still change around his artifacts a little bit just to try out different sets, but for now, the Petra and the Bloodstain set does work really well for me. Now, if you guys have any artifact pieces that you want me to try out, or you have tried out certain artifact pieces and it has worked for you, do leave them in the comment section below so that I will be able to try them out as well. Now, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!